In this lecture, we'll learn more about communication in organizations. We will learn about the communication process and the functions it serves in organizations. We'll also cover the direction of communication, downward, upward, and lateral communication, and 3 types of small group networks: chain, wheel, and all-channel. I'll finish this video with a brief explanation of some of the most common barriers to effective communication. So let's start with an overview of the basic process. Communication includes both the transfer and the understanding of a message. So 2 things: transfer and understanding. Effective communication then occurs when a message is transmitted so that the receiver perceives the same mental picture as the sender of the message. So effective communication requires 2 people. You can't be effective unless the other party actually understands what you wanted them to understand. As shown here in this image, the communication process is made up of several different parts. First, the sender has a message to send and encodes their thoughts to prepare the message. It will be sent through what we call a communication channel, like face-to-face conversation or email. Once the receiver gets the message, they decode it and translate what they see and hear into an understandable form. They may begin to formulate their own message to be sent back as the communication process continues. As this exchange occurs, 2 things are happening. 1, all kinds of things can go wrong. We call these things noise. 2, the sender uses feedback to decide whether the receiver understood the message, and the receiver uses feedback to interpret the true meaning of a message. So let's take a closer look at 3 of these concepts that you see at the center of this image: channels, noise, and feedback. The channel is the medium through which the message travels. Written, oral, and nonverbal communication are 3 broad categories of communication channels. Written communication includes text messages, emails, PowerPoint, and social media. Oral communication refers to discussions, meetings, telephone conversations. Nonverbal communication includes the body movements, tone of voice, facial expressions, and physical distance that accompany most messages. Channels differ in their capacity to convey information. Emails, for instance, don't capture the sender's tone in the same way that face-to-face discussions do. So for this reason, the channel itself can impact the effectiveness of communication. This means we have to choose the channel carefully. We have to choose the channel that makes the most sense for the message we want to send. In an organization, the sender of a message must decide whether to use a formal or informal channel. Formal channels are usually established by the organization and used for work-related messages. When you meet with your boss to discuss a project update, you use a formal channel. Informal channels, on the other hand, usually emerge spontaneously and are used for personal or social messages. When you text a coworker about lunch plans, you use an informal channel. Noise refers to the communication barriers that can distort the clarity of a message. Think of all the things that could interfere with sending and receiving information. We may perceive nonverbal cues incorrectly, send too much information, or violate a cultural norm. The sender might use words the receiver doesn't understand, or the sender may use words incorrectly. Being proactive about minimizing noise is crucial to effective communication. This could mean anything from updating your equipment, or it could mean something as simple as muting your phone during a virtual conference call. How do we know if noise got in the way? Feedback helps us decide if the receiver of our message understood it as we intended. A puzzled look on someone's face, for example, might signal to us that they did not understand what we said or what we meant. The puzzled look is a kind of feedback. If we detect a problem, we adjust our communication style and try to clarify our original message.